What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and in this video I'm just going to be discussing the upcoming update for this month, July, and we have some really interesting topics, so let me know in the comments what you think about these as well, and I'll be covering the weapon refines and everything in depth whenever they come out, so be sure to like and subscribe. So the quality of life feature, which has been heavily requested, is the fact that we can lock teams and just have their sacred seals and skills locked, which is possible in Ether Raid's defense as well as melee and strike, but it wasn't really available outside of that. And now it is going to be available to the normal teams, to the reserve teams, to the brigades, to the Ether Raid's offense teams, which is really amazing. So this is definitely something that makes it a lot easier to manage your team, manage your time essentially, because you would waste a lot of time equipping the sacred seals, especially like again and again, and that could just cause annoyance because many times in Ether Raid's offense, like I've forgotten sacred seals because I used them for like a resonant battle free-to-play guide or something, so that was really annoying. But keep in mind there is a catch, like there always is most of the time. So other status is not going to be carrying over when you lock a unit similar to Ether Raid's defense or melee and strike. So what they pretty much mean by this is that you're not going to be locking their traits, merges, or blessings. Now in Ether Raid's defense, you could lock a unit on your defense team and then kill them off, fodder them, send them home, do whatever. That unit is still going to be staying in your Ether Raid's defense team because you locked your team. But when this is going to be applied to the normal teams, your traits, merges, and the unit's availability itself is not locked, and especially blessings as well. So you're not going to be able to preserve your blessings like you could do in Ether Raid's defense, because I pretty much use the same units for both seasons most of the time, but I just logged the teams and the blessing stays there. So that's pretty much the catch, but still I guess it's not that big of a deal. At least we can now save our time not equipping the sacred suits again and again. And another thing which I want to mention is that how big of a buff this is to Ether Raid's offense, especially if you play Ether Raids a lot, you can definitely optimize your team. And I would always recommend people to run different strategies in their Ether Raid's teams, like tanking, gale forcing, hit and run. I mean, hit and run is kind of dead right now, but still it can be useful against some teams. So you can have a lot of options, and basically locking your teams gives you flexibility because you can have multiple units with heavy blade or flashing blade, provided they do not overlap with the same team. So those two sacred seals are really important, and also the fact that depending on your team, you can run different weapons, different skills. Like for example, if I'm using a Gale Force team, then I could have Dagger in Light Season, have Wings of Mercy, and have Flashing Blade and Gale Force. But if I'm using her with a tank, then I can have double life and death on her so that she can soak the Bright Shrine for my tank. So definitely encourages having more flexibility among your team, depending on your team's playstyle. And I'm a big fan of that, so I think that's going to be really interesting for me personally, and for many people who play Ether Raids a lot, so I really appreciate that. And now let's move on to the weapon refines. So this is some really exciting stuff. We are seeing some legendary weapon refines, and it seems like they're going to be doing 3 legendary units per month. So this month we have got Grima, or I guess male Grima as well. He's not legendary, but you get what I mean. Fjorm and also Gunnthra. So it's really amazing for legendary Grima because for the longest time, Halloween Grima as well as now Spring Myr have been dancing on her, and she's been really outdated. So a weapon refine and a hero remix at the same time is gonna be a huge thing for her. So let's talk about her remix. So here she's gonna be getting Dragon Skin 2, which does have IO Shield of course, but now its effect has been changed. If foe initiates combat, which means that it's always going to be active in the enemy phase, or if the foe is above 75% HP, then she will get +6 to all of her stats during combat, and she neutralizes any foe's bonuses, rally skills, fortify skills, any visible buffs basically. So it's IO Shield that can also give you +6 to all of your stats. It can work in both phases as well, and it will have the dull all effect, which will just ignore any of the visible buffs. So this upgrade is definitely pretty amazing, and now she's going to be getting the Exploration Weapon Refine as well. I really hope that she gets a really nice Exploration Weapon Refine because dragons have it pretty tough. There are just so many dragon effective weapons and many skills which they are deprived of. And also Robin has been available so many times in legendary banners back in the days where she would always appear in the colorless pool. So I hope that people can get their worth out of their merged or even like Robins that they have. So she will get Dragon Skin 2, which is definitely a pretty nice upgrade. And she will also get Speed Res Rain as her C skill, So this is really amazing as well. Speed always means that you can deny doubles from the opponents, and you can also use it yourself offensively. And because Dragon Skin 2 can also work in player phase, provided that the opponent is above 75% HP, means that you can also utilize this in the player phase. So if you want to fodder her, then this is the skill that she has got, which is much better than anything that she had before. So I'm pretty happy with her remix. I'll be talking about Lynn's remix later as well, but Lynn is basically going to be getting Weapon Refined probably next month. So that's Grima, and there's also our boy here, Fallen Grima. So he's not a legendary unit, doesn't have Dragon Skin, but still he could definitely make use of the expiration. The competition is pretty insane when it comes to green armor units in general, so it's gonna be a bit tough for him. Legendary Grima is definitely a lot more unique because there are only 2 colorless flying dragons in Spring Mer and herself. So it's a bit less competition for her, but still it's going to be really nice for male Grima because he does have high attack stat and he definitely has workable bulk. So he's going to be getting the same refine as Legendary Grima because they share the same weapon, and he was available in the Hall of Forms when Awakening had the Hall of Forms, so many people probably got him at that time. So I hope that this can definitely make it worth for the Grima fans. And then we've got Fjorm, the free-to-play unit. Now, I don't have very high hopes for her weapon refine because Ice Mirror 2 was not really too impactful compared to the other remixes, I would argue. And if you compare the power level between the refines of the free-to-play units who had distant counter compared to Ryoma and Rajinto, there's a big gap. So I don't think she's going to be getting the best refine, but still it's going to be making her a lot more viable, I hope. So that's my hope with her. She's of course going to be seeing usage in free-to-play guides if she does end up getting a good one. So that's Fjorm, finally got her. And then her sister is here as well, Gunnthra. Her remix was extremely amazing. She got Chilling Seal 2, which is an absolutely amazing debuffing skill that can help support your allies and also helps with her weapon Blizzard, which is basically a broadleaf tome. So more debuffs you do on the enemy, you get more attack stat. So the weapon refine is probably going to be giving her some extra stats, I'm guessing, because the support already comes from Chilling Seal 2. So I don't think she's going to be getting any more debuffs from her weapon, but just getting some extra stats and probably getting some extra effect to capitalize on that. And that is pretty nice because I really like using Gunnthra. I think she can still be really powerful, especially with her remix and Chilling Seal 2. So her damage output can still be pretty nice considering the fact that she's an old legendary unit. And whenever Green Dual Cavalry 4 comes out, this is going to be helping her a lot in arena game mode. Then we've got Gerome, always lived in her mother's shadow, quite literally, because sure, she just has a preferred weapon and was easily available, didn't use Grails. So Gerome definitely had to fight for that from the start, but now he's going to be getting a weapon refine. I wonder if they're going to be keeping the cavalry effectiveness on his poleaxe. They might actually, but then again, sure, she got a preferred brave axe and she started with a hammer plus. So it could be something else for him. And there's also the fact that he has to compete with Mini Nerva in the Grail pool when it comes to being an axe flyer. So Spring Sharina got a weapon refine and she had a pretty similar weapon to Catria's. So it might be a bit similar, but then again, these are 2 different units in different classes. So it could be a bit different, but at the end of the day, a copy paste from Spring Sharina's weapon could be a possibility as well, in my opinion. And then finally, we've got Dorcas. So he definitely got a weapon refine later than all of the other distant counter Gen 1 units, probably because someone poisoned him, but now he has finally got one, and he can definitely be viable in arena with G-Dual Infantry 4, as I went over that in my dual skill analysis video. So a weapon refine would be definitely helpful to him, and axe infantries are also extremely stacked. It's just really competitive, but still having that in a distant counter can open up you to some other options, and it would be really funny if you got some kind of effect that just makes him negate any kind of like negative status effect, the poison, or just let him negate any kind of debuffs. I think that would be really funny. So I hope they do that. I would love that. And now let's talk about Legendary Lynn's remix, and she's gonna be getting a weapon refine next month probably, or soon hopefully. But yeah, remix is definitely not gonna be enough for fixing her. So she's got Laws of Sake 2. If unit initiates combat, so it's going to be always active in the player phase, or if the unit is within 2 spaces of an ally, then she can get +6 to all of her stats during the combat, and if the foe is a melee unit, then she can pretty much get the Fire Sweep effect, which is actually more like Wind Sweep because it will be checking for the speed, and if Lynn is 5 points faster than the foe, the melee foe, then she's going to be able to get the Fire Sweep effect. So this is decent in vacuum, but it's still on Legendary Lyn, and this is not enough. I wish the speed check was a bit lenient. I mean, Eleonora has just the speed check where she needs to be 1 point faster, so I don't see why this couldn't have been done to her speed condition. And this fire sweep effect is only against melee units, so against range units, mages, bow units, dagger units, this is not going to be active. So it's kind of like a pseudo Sake's blessing in a way, but still it's not the best thing for Lyn. It's decent, don't get me wrong, but it's far from enough for helping her. And there's also the fact that she's a wind legendary unit, and because this is a slot A skill, she can already run Green Duel Infantry 4 for arena scoring, and that's not the best thing for a legendary unit for arena scoring. And I mean, it's the same for legendary Robin as well, but the thing is that Robin at least has more BST than legendary Lyn, and I would argue that she could still afford to run colorless flying duel for whenever that comes out, depending on how good her weapon refine is. But still, like, she at least has more BST than her. So I really wish they gave her like a dual effect in her slot A skill so that she would not be gimped in arena essentially by having to replace the skill if she wants to score well, or just choose between if she wants to function well. If you have some extra legendary Lyn, then you can even fodder her for joint drive speed. This is one of the best drive skills in the game, and if you got like an extra legendary Lyn from, I don't know, something like A Hero Rises 2, then yeah, you could probably fodder her for that. But I'm definitely going to be looking forward to Weapon Refine. I hope it's really, really good and it can synergize well with Laws of Sake too, because this is just not enough in my opinion. I know it might look decent, but trust me, in today's meta with how strong units are right from the start from their base kit at unmerged, this is not enough for an older legendary unit, especially someone who is to be used in arena. I mean, she doesn't have much chance against a lot of the wind legendary units as it is. We have got legendary Seeger, legendary Car, and stuff like that. So that's legendary Lyn. I'm gonna be covering legendary Grima in my weapon refine review, but I'm gonna be waiting till her weapon refine to really make a review on Lyn, because right now she feels incomplete, and I hope that her weapon refine is super good and can finally make her good. So that's my opinion about the remixes. Pretty good on Grima, but still waiting for more on legendary Lyn. And now we have some ephemera units, so let's go over them. And we have got Summer Ursula. So she gives you defense res ruse and rally attack speed plus. So this is same as Annette, who can give that to you from the divine code section, but you can obviously only get one Annette. So if you don't want to fodder off your Annette, then this is a pretty good chance of grabbing a ruse skill and a double rally skill. Now keep in mind that we don't have a demote or a Grail unit who provides you with rally attack speed. So you better have kept the Bride Cordelia that we got long ago, who has rally attack speed. So you could use her as a way of getting the rally plus skill and also the ruse skill from Ursula. So if you saved up that ephemera manual, then it's going to be good for you. And her weapon is not really all that good. She's mainly going to be used for her rally skill and the ruse skill. Then we've got Summer Takumi. So he's got Fishy Bow plus, and that's basically like a desperation bow. So you can run some other slot B skills on your bow units, but honestly there are just so many better bows. Spendthrift, Pelagian Bow, Reindeer Bow, and now even the Sunflower Bow from Leonie is not that bad. So this is not the best weapon, but it could be nice as a side option, and aesthetically it's pretty cute. So that's something if you are going to be investing into a bow unit. He also has Fury 3, so if you're really desperate for Fury, I guess you could fodder him for Fury. So that's pretty much it for the 5-star ephemera manuals. And then for this month's Grail unit, in the ephemera section we've got Pelagian Male Chris. Extremely well received free to play unit in my opinion, just from his aesthetics, voice lines, his weapon, just everything really. So a lot of people have him as their merge project, so they're definitely going to be appreciating him. And even if you plus and merged him, or you don't really plan to merge him, Pelagian Axe is still a really good weapon. So it's a fantastic axe which requires the solo condition, and it can basically make you a lot more bulky and make you hit harder, which is definitely nice. But outside of that, he does have chill attack, which is alright I guess, not the best lobby skill. We also have Seteth as the demote feature of this month's ephemera manual, and he's also a very popular Lance Flyer merge project because of his preferred weapon, and he's honestly a pretty nice unit himself, so he's not that bad at all for a free-to-play unit and quite good for supporting your allies and also being pretty good himself. So it's pretty nice if you want to get a merge on him, but unfortunately outside of that he doesn't have much for fodder. Brazen attack speed does come at an opportunity cost as he slot his skill, it's better as a secret seal. Then we have got Reposition and Silas, and also Steady Stance 3, which you could inherit at the same time. So if you're low on Reposition, you get that. And finally, we have got Soleil with Fire Sweep Sword and also Drive Resistance, so that could be useful. We also have Roy, and he does give you Triangle Adept and also Shove. Triangle Adept is still really amazing for Arena Assault at the end of the day for making some budget counters, so that can definitely find some use. And Shove is useful in Ether Raids and at times in Resonant Battles as well. In my opinion, you should definitely try to pick up Ursula because Rue skills are not that common. We haven't really got that on a demote, so it's a pretty rare skill, all things considered. It's just available in Divine Code section, so I'm definitely going to be trying to get that. And then you can get, Male Chris, and obviously Reposition is always going to be nice. And if you're low on Fury, then Summer Takumi is going to be nice as well. So I think I'm probably going to go with Ursula, Pelagian Male Chris, Setith, and also Silas. So the Ephemeral lineup this month is pretty decent, and as we scroll down, we see some Ether Raids changes. So Dark Shrine can be upgradable to level 8 and Escape Ladder to level 6. So I guess this is pretty much their answer to all of the degenerate stuff that Note brings to the Dark Season. So this is a nice thing that we can spend our heavenly dues on, because if you have been consistent Ether Raids players, you probably have thousands upon thousands of heavenly dues and have nothing to spend it on, because Ether Raids offense structures are not good to invest into, because you need the bottom space to hide your units into from the aggressive and oppressive teams that go on turn 1. So there's finally something that we can spend the heavenly dues on. I think I'm more excited about that, because that number just keeps increasing every year and we get nothing to spend that on. And they're also going to be adding 2 really chill songs, one from Three Houses and one from Awakening. And then Millionaire Structure, nobody really cares about that. I don't think I've seen many people upgrade that. Even like unupgraded, it's fine. Millionaire Strike is not the hardest game mode. And then we have got the other changes. The lock icon will appear in Ether Raids and Millionaire Strike. So it's pretty much a visual change, I guess. I'm really happy about this locking feature, man. And definitely really excited for Legend of Grima's Weapon Refine. And also Gunthra's especially. I'm a big user of Gunnthra. I really like her, and I hope that it's really amazing with her already pretty nice weapon. So let me know what you think about this update. What are your thoughts on the remixes, on the refines? Let's have a chill discussion in the comment section down below. And I want to thank all of my YouTube members for the constant support. If you enjoyed, then please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Helps me tremendously, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as Legendary Lyn's scoring in Arena with Laws of Sakate 2 over Green Duel and Fendry. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.